It's that time.
Mm.
That was rough.
Let me zip this up.
That was rough.
For you, those of you who don't know, we record this on Sunday. So we're just a couple hours removed from that.
It's fresh.
The wounds are fresh. Shocking. I mean, we kind of thought along with a lot of other people that Sweet 16 was almost guaranteed this year.
You would think the way they played, it's like they didn't expect to see a 2-3 zone. Not that Syracuse runs the 2-3 zone every year, every game. And we used to be in the same conference for 20 years. We would think we'd never seen it. I mean, goodness.
What is going on?
Terrible first half. Made a little run at the end of the first half to get back in the game. Played good and started to figure it out. But wow, I mean, that was not good.
I almost thought they would come back. And I lost my voice a little bit on that comeback in the second half.
Well, they took the lead.
They tied it up. Yeah, they were up by 1 or 2. And then
Syracuse started switching Boeheim on McNeil and taking advantage of that. Boeheim's, he's a baller. He's tough. He's 6'6", and West Virginia was switching off every pick, and they were creating the matchups they wanted, and he just went to work.
And hitting threes all day. I've never seen so many threes in my life.
Yeah, he was clutch.
Every shot, you're like, how can he keep going in?
He got up there. What did he finish with? 25 points. He had the first half. He had like 6, I think. He didn't do much, and then he just went off. Culver, he was disappointing. He's first team Big 12. He finished with 7 points.
Disappointing tournament altogether. He didn't do much the last game.
They return everybody though, but that's not the way you want to end the year. I think they needed to at least get to the Sweet 16. And Illinois lost today, which opened the door. I think a lot of people that had done brackets and a lot of the experts had supposedly picked Illinois to beat West Virginia, and Illinois got upset today by Loyola.
A lot of upsets early.
But, you can't start like that. Syracuse was up by 14 in the first half.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. And then you can never come back. And then they came back, and it's like every time they got there, Syracuse just came back and put up 2 threes. West Virginia couldn't hit layups, easy layups. They couldn't hit anything.
McNeil was hot.
McNeil had a series there, and that's when West Virginia came back, where he hit probably 4 threes in a row. And far threes. He was way out, and he was just making it look easy. Yeah. But then they switched up on him, and he stopped hitting them, and then they couldn't hit anything. And then Syracuse runs up 10 points again.
The zone kind of it took McBride out of the game. He's a good ISO. He's a good one-on-one player. Mm-hmm. He finished with 11 points. He was playing good on defense. He was all over the guys.
Defense didn't look bad, surprisingly, even though
we gave up a lot of threes.
It was the threes, really. The outside shots were nonstop.
They shot great from 3. What did they finish with from 3? It was something crazy.
I'm going to say their inside defense didn't look bad at all. And I felt like, especially when they got on those runs, they did a great job. But
I guess they shot 45% from 3 and we shot 42. Didn't feel like that.
It didn't feel like that. I don't know. We hit a lot of threes too. There was no inside play, especially in that late second half. You couldn't even do anything.
Culver, they were taking a lot of bad shots against that zone.
They were.
They just could not figure it out. And Syracuse was really long and causing a lot of problems. And that's what happened.
So, and I hate to be that guy, because West Virginia loves Bob Huggins. We were just talking about him should be in the Hall of Fame. But isn't this, I feel like in any other sport, you would call this a coaching issue.
I think he got outcoached. I still think he's a great coach. I think he went up against second in wins among active coaches right now.
But he's been coaching a long time too. Is that a padded stat?
No, he's a good coach.
He's a good coach, but
he turned Cincinnati into a Final Four.
Is he good enough?
He took West Virginia to a Final Four team. Mm-hmm. He's a good coach. He got out coached.
What have you done for me lately? To quote Eddie Murphy, what have you done for me lately, Eddie?
But he went up against a guy who has even more wins than him. He's coached USA. He was an assistant on the USA team. He's won national championships.
And the only reason I bring this up because this seems like a West Virginia thing every year.
It does.
We're good, and this is the year, and then big game upset.
Well, I mentioned it. I don't know if it was our first episode or second episode when I talked about. I think it was last week, and I said the basketball team. They played the top 5 teams tough, playing a battle, and they play teams 20 and up tough, and you can't do that because you're going to get caught.
Yeah,
you can't win 6 or 5, even maybe 4. I mean, just drag them out in battles like this. And
for sure, they got caught.
Yeah, I mean, West Virginia was the superior team on paper, and they got beat.
Yeah, I mean,
next year they're going to have a lot of hype
to even make it out of the first round, and now they're Sweet 16.
They got hot. I mean, a couple weeks ago they were questioning if they were even going to get in the tournament.
So I'm saying you got to give Syracuse credit because they played a really good game.
They did.
So it's not all West Virginia shooting himself in the foot. They played a great game. So you got to look at it.
I think if they play like that, they can win the region.
I mean, if they look like they look tonight, that was a really good game.
To me, they would be my pick to get to the. I don't know. I gotta watch more. I gotta see. Right now, Houston or Syracuse. That game will be a good game.
If they play like they played today, I'd say Elite 8 at least.
At least, I think if they beat Houston, they'll get to the Final Four.
I could see
Houston's got to win. Houston plays tonight. We'll see. They got a good chance.
Yeah. My interest is gone though. I don't care anymore. I'm out of March Madness until probably the Final Four.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's it with me. On to football.
Just gone.
Yeah. Nothing going on in football this week though for West Virginia.
Spring practice is starting soon.
So practices, some scrimmages coming up. That's exciting.
More on that. We'll see what develops.
I think late March, so in a couple weeks, we should have some recruits making their final decision. So maybe next week we'll know something. Hopefully they come to West Virginia. Be nice to land a QB off the board.
We'll see. Be a good QB competition this spring.
Could be. Especially if we get someone better. Huh.